What is good? What is good for the culture family? Hope you guys are having a great morning. We had an absolutely banger of a day yesterday, and we had talked about it in the pre-market prep that we mentioned yesterday for the session. Now, what we're going to be looking at here today is the same exact thing that we were looking at yesterday. Today, we have the volume. Price looks absolutely amazing today. Ah man, yesterday was a great day. Ended up making about 3.3K. We ended up taking some gold buys, and we also took some I believe it was NASDAQ buys. It was either Nas buys or US 30 buys. Let me take a look here. Pretty sure it was a Nas buy that we had caught yesterday. Let's go to it. Yeah, so we caught Nas buys within this area here. Took my profits up here. And then we were able to catch the gold buy as well. If you take a look here on our time frame. So I ended up getting gold buys. I think we got gold buys around this 33.6. I know I closed up here. That's where we had. Oh, no. Hold on. This was not yesterday. Let's go to it. Thursday, Friday. This move. Okay. Here we go. This is where we caught gold yesterday. So we seen this initial bullish move coming into the market's price came down. We created a new high, created a new higher low. You take a look here, and we were just looking for that continuation of this go. You can see I made a 1 to 2.8 risk to reward, made about $2,000 on this trade, and then about $1,200 on the NASDAQ trade. So what are we looking for coming into the markets today? Well, we know if we take a look here on the 4-hour time frame, gold is extremely bullish, right? We took out these highs yesterday. This is the high that I wanted to see get swept, and for price to start running into this larger time frame area. You can see that this area of resistance that we were looking for yesterday when we came into the markets was the resistance area where we were looking for price to test into. Now, following testing into this area of interest here, we started to see some type of rejection. But what do we see happening now on our lower time frame? So on our 4-hour time frame, we're bullish. On the 1-hour time frame, we're in fact bullish as well. You can see price started to create some lower lows and lower highs within this structure, but then we have a lower time frame shift. Where does that shift happen? Well, price created a high, created a low, created a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low. Price is in a bearish structure. We get a lower high, we get another lower low. Then price breaks through this area of interest with volume and forces an impulsive move up. That indicates to us that we're now looking for a continuation of the buy. So what are we looking for coming into the markets today? Well, I want to see a possible correction and then a continuation up, looking to target yesterday's high. So we'll be looking for a break of yesterday's high at this 34.16 area. Now, if we break through this high and before, we get in our entry, we'll look for a retest and then a continuation up. And then we'll look to target some larger time frame areas of interest today, for the market. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in terms of coming into the markets today for gold. Let's take a look here at the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, you can see that price had an impulsive move up. We're in a corrective structure down. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame so we can get a clearer picture of what happened. So yesterday we seen with that break on Nas, we had an all-time high get created. That's why we went ahead and took our buys, because price was in these all-time high areas. Why we also took our profits. I took my profits, and the team took their profits. Most of the team took their profits at this area here because it was the first sign of rejection. Price pushed up, it pushed down, it pushed up a little bit, and then it started to come all the way back down. So we went ahead, got out of that trade. It was a solid trade. I got about a 1 to 3 risk to reward on that trade. So coming into the markets today, the 4-hour time frame is in fact currently bullish. So we had a high get created, a low, a higher high for the all-time high to get created. Price is now rejecting off of this key area of interest down here, and we're looking at a steeper move to the upside. So we could potentially see today's high get taken out here at this 23,426, potentially continuing price to be, in that bullish overall market structure. You can see how the previous daily in fact closed as a bullish candle. We do see this sign of exhaustion here for the NASDAQ. So at any moment, or I'm not gonna say at any moment, but when we see on the lower time frame price begin to make a lower time frame shift, let's say like on the 4-hour time frame or on the 1-hour time frame, that's at which I would look for sales. But as of right now, we are gonna look for a continued bullish move to sweep the previous day high. You can see we just have a beautiful market structure. We need the lower time frame to shift. A lower time frame shift will be an indication of the high break at this 23,348 levels. So 23,348, put an alert there on that 23,348. That's an area of interest where we want to see break. If we see this area get broken, let me just change my line here. There we go. So if we see this area get broken, and let's do one more thing. That's a little too thick. Hold on. That's a little too thick. But if we see this area get broken at this 23,348 levels, that's where we'll look for price to continue pushing bullish. So it'll be an indication of this high, a higher low, and then that continuation, looking for yesterday's high to get swept. Overall target is at that 23,423 area. YM, likely we're going to see the same thing. Ooh, we didn't see the same thing on YM. YM's actually a little bit different here if you take a look at the 4-hour time frame. So we're going to remove our drawings here. And with the YM, we're just still in this bearish corrective structure. The YM is the only one out of the indices that we look at, the NASDAQ, the YM, and ES. It's the only one that hasn't broken its all-time high yet. So like it's right here at this all-time high area. It is just finding some resistance at this area, but we do know that this all-time high is going to get broken. It's not a matter of if. I tell you guys all the time, it's a matter of when. So we had an impulsive leg. We're in this corrective leg, and we're going to expect for another impulsive bullish leg for price to continue pushing up. So overall, in today's market, what am I looking for in terms of the YM? I mean, as of right now, the YM is just in this kind of, bearish market structure where it's taking out the highs, taking out the lows. It's just in that kind of corrective phase. Currently, we see, if we take a look on the 4-hour, the 4-hour candle is in fact bearish as of now. Not saying that this couldn't flip from this area, but if we've already broken through this low, I would potentially see a steeper move to the downside depending on how we, begin to flip. I wouldn't look for buys until we get that lower time frame possible confirmation. And realistically, if you're looking for buys, gold and NASDAQ would look like the best one. This looks more inclined to a sell, and I'm not really inclined to selling our indices, but this one does look more inclined to a sell. You guys know that I just cherry pick volume. So if we have volume in the markets, we're going to execute on the one with the most volume. As of right now, that's looking like gold. We had that nice bullish move coming into the session, but we're going to keep an eye out for the NASDAQ if it breaks through this high. But as of right now, the YM just not really loving the structure in terms of where she could go. But what I would anticipate is a steeper move to the downside. If we don't see this steeper move to the downside, expect this to start chopping off until it starts continuing to be bullish. So we could expect it to, kind of chop off here where we start to see highs and lows get, taken out, and then potentially a steeper move up. A chop is an indication of a possible reversal and a possible flip. And essentially on the larger time frame, we kind of just been in this chop, but we haven't had the flip yet. So we need to wait for the flip. Then you can look to target all-time highs. I tell you guys, when price finally flips to push and break these all-time highs, expect it to break these highs with some volume, and we're gonna make sure that we're in when it is. But I'm not really too inclined to sell in the YM, so when it's ready to buy, we'll look to buy her. Let's go to the ES. The ES, absolutely beautiful structure here. You can see price just creating the most beautiful higher highs and higher lows here. You can see excuse me, price went up, we created a high, we created a low, higher high. We're retesting within that area right now. Currently 4-hour candle is in fact bullish. We could see this potentially continue up, but keep an eye out for the structure. We have had a lower time frame shift as price created a high, created a low right here, created a lower high, lower low, but then we have this lower time frame shift as price breaks through this area of interest. So anticipating a steeper bullish move up for the ES. Not the best in terms of the candle price action, We would definitely want to see some volume come into the markets for the ES because essentially we'd be looking for price to target these all-time highs up here at this 63.72. As of right now, most inclined coming into the day on trading gold and the Nasdaq. These are going to be the two pairs that I have on my watch list and have hot and ready. So this is what we're going to be looking for coming into the markets today. It's going to be a, it's going to be a very beautiful day. Yesterday we had a solid day, caught a nice buy move on gold and caught that nice buy move on the Nasdaq. We're going to look for that continuation move up today here for gold and both the Nasdaq as well. If Nas holds this area of interest and we see a lower time frame shift, a steeper move to the downside could be coming. But as of right now, with the way the 4-hour candle is closing on the Nasdaq and the way the 4-hour candle is appearing to close on gold, especially on gold. Gold is in the hot seat, right? Gold has the most volume with the most beautiful price action currently. So we're looking to buy gold, looking for that continuation on the next 4-hour candle. Potentially gold to start targeting, now we could start targeting some all-time highs with gold. We break through this high here today, a continuation move, especially if it breaks coming into the session. We're not going to be looking to trade it until 9:30, so we're not going to be executing on any moves until 9:30. But gold is the hot one coming into the markets today. We made about 3.3K yesterday. We're looking to go ahead and make about another 3 to 4K today is kind of where we want to be, but we gotta let the markets determine that for us. And so if we get this gold position, looking to hold to some of these larger time frame areas of interest over here, because like I keep mentioning gold because this is what I'm going to be trading. So like if you want to know exactly the next moves that I'm looking for, this is it. So price to target, let's say 34, 31, probably got some resistance there. But really I think gold, with the volume that we have, we could potentially run kind of long. So we'll just follow the volume, and once the volume begins to start to die out, we'll scale out of our position. As of right now, it is absolutely amazing. Looks beautiful. It's about to break through this high here, confirming that price is still in a bullish market structure. We can anticipate a continuation on the next 4-hour, and we'll scale in on that there. So I will see you guys. For those of you in the VIP, I'll see you guys in the session. For those of you who are not in the VIP, you could join us trading live every single day, Monday through Friday at 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can take these trades with me. You can execute with me. The team has been able to eat. It's absolutely a blessing. So I'll see you guys there.